Hey everybody, this is John from Slash Bash, and today I'm bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and ring that notifications bell so you don't miss out on the fun. In our first story, a choosing beggar wants to buy a jaguar for half price, otherwise he can't get home. Well, you can take the bus. Let's jump right in. When I lived in the UK, I had a decent job paying good money and used to drive to work about 40 miles round trip. I decided a gentleman of my means and status needed a quality automobile, so I bought a used S-Type Jaguar. Fabulous thing, smooth, powerful, comfy as all hell. Fast forward a few years and I decided to sell to buy a rather fun Mercedes. So I took pics of the Jag and posted it on eBay. I'd done about 40,000 miles in the Jag by then, taking it up to about 100,000, and it had the usual collection of minor scrapes and marks here and there, every one of which I photographed and put on the eBay ad. There were lots of calls and one chap seemed keen, so I arranged to meet him at my place on the weekend. Saturday arrived and so did he, an hour late, which didn't exactly predispose me to be his friend. He rolled up as passenger in a car, which then drove off. Introduced himself, clearly a used car dealer from the shallow end of the pool, and started looking over the car. Asked if he could take it for a spin, and I said sure, show me some insurance and you can. He started hooting and telling me he was a trader, was insured for anything, so I remarked that it'd not be a problem to show me the details. 10 minutes later, when he'd found mobile coverage and logged in, he showed me the insurance. All good. I did notice that his phone was almost empty of charge. He took the car out with me in the passenger seat, and the car drove faultlessly. We got back to mine and he made me an offer of £2,000. The car was advertised at $4,000. I just laughed and said no thanks. He went into this rant about how much it needed, how it was covered in scratches, which it wasn't, and that I'd lied. I showed him the eBay ad with all the minor scratches shown, and he muttered that he'd not looked at all the pictures. So I locked the car and walked to my front door, whereupon he inserted himself in front of me and insisted I sell to him for $2,000, as he'd come from Coventry about 100 miles and had no way of getting back as his mate had gone home. I told him to call his mate to come and get him, which he tried, and as it was ringing, his phone went flat. At this point, I was openly laughing. He then started whining that he had no way to get home and wanted to come into my place to charge his phone. I told him that he had a way to get home. It would cost him £4,000 and was sat on the drive. After his next tantrum, I told him to flip right off away from my house and that there was a bus stop 100 yards along the road that'd take him to the railway station 10 miles away. When I went out in the car a half hour later, he was stood at the bus stop in the rain. He didn't look happy to see me at all when I tooted my horn and happily waved as I went past, snug and warm in my Jag. 24 hours later, I sold my Jag for 3,800 quid. Story 2, a choosing beggar at the farmer's market. I go to a farmer's market where this one lady literally brings her machine and all the supplies necessary to embroider whatever you want right in front of you. You pick what you want, she makes it. You pick the design and she embroiders it. You can even bring your own items and have them embroidered. The cast is a choosing beggar and a nice lady. The choosing beggar walks in front of the nice lady and looks around. Where is the person that does embroidery? Everyone points to the nice lady. How can I help you? I wanted to inquire about a shirt. The nice lady looks but doesn't see a shirt. Of course, do you have it with you? Yes, I'll get it. Moments later, the choosing beggar throws a bag on the nice lady's table. Can you do it? I just want black thread. I have to take a look, but yes, I do have black thread. Mind if I take it out of the bag? Sure, it's brand new. The nice lady takes it out of the bag. Where do you want the design? On the left-hand side. How big? I don't know. I can see it's a minky pullover, which is a soft plush fabric, which can be hard to work with. The nice lady handles the shirt and I can see she's running the procedure through her mind. I just want black thread. I do have black. What would you like embroidered on it? I want this elaborate vine monogram design. I could literally see the nice lady gulp. I do have that design on my computer. It's a specialized design, but yes, I can do it. How much will it cost? Oh, and I want a circle around it. $30. That's a lot! The other place doesn't charge that much. You said $15. That was a quote for what I thought was a regular t-shirt, not a minky pullover, and she continues to explain the intricacies of what would need to be done. I'll do it for $25. I can give you $20. I can show you my fonts I have on hand and I can add the circle you mentioned. At that point, Choosing Beggar leans over the nice lady with her little Yorkie dog, and I kid you not, 45 minutes later, Choosing Beggar was still explaining exactly what she wanted, for 3 letters. Make that letter bigger, make that one smaller. Use that font, repeat over and over for 45 minutes. She continues to berate her about charging more than the other place. I don't want it to look cheap. Now remind you, Nice Lady has displays and they're all gorgeous. The Nice Lady finally loses her patience, inhales and says, I'm sorry, but I would feel more comfortable if you used the other place. Okay. They only charge $5. That's fine. They're also much more better than you. And she continues to go on berating, insulting the Nice Lady. Finally, Choosing Beggar walks away, leaving the Nice Lady smirking. They definitely don't charge $5, and I am happy for them to have to deal with her. No sweat off my back, I can sleep at night. Really, they're gonna charge her at least $50 for what she wants. It made me laugh. Story 3. A Choosing Beggar needs a ride to Burning Man. A number of years ago, a group of us were planning to drive from New York City to Reno, Nevada for Burning Man in a cargo van outfitted with cots in the rear. The idea was we'd drive straight there, rotating drivers and stopping periodically for fuel, food, bathroom breaks, etc. 2 would sleep, 2 would crash in the middle, and 2 would be up front. The expenses were divided equally at cost, and it worked out to $100 per person. There was an extra slot, so I posted the availability on a Burning Man rideshare group. I was contacted by a woman in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I explained the trip as well as how it was going to work. Erie is about 100 miles and 2 hours out of the way. With 2,700 miles to cover over 48 hours, there was no way we were going to divert, and I told her as much. If she could get herself down to meet us at I-80 during a specific time range, there was a slot for her. This she was told point blank. About a week later, I received a call from this burner, wherein she inquired if I'd figured out how I was going to pick her up. At her home, in Erie, Pennsylvania, 2 hours and 100 miles out of the way. This was after I had already told her she had to make her own way down to the interstate, as if getting her there was my problem. The audacity and entitlement was a bit off-putting at first, and my initial reaction was to begin explaining again before I caught myself, and just told her straight that there wasn't room for her. If a stranger comes at you from such a ridiculously self-centered perspective, don't try to accommodate them. Don't waste any time on them. You don't owe them anything. Just cut it off and don't waste any time engaging the stupidity. Also, burners try to pride themselves on being very self-reliant, resourceful, and independent, and many of them are, impressively so. However, more are lazy, self-entitled, manipulative parasites who take advantage of the community-based culture to exploit other participants. Never trust a hippie younger than 65 until they've proven themselves reliable, especially if they spout out all that crap about plur, peace, love, unity, and respect, or other such BS. In Story 4, a photographer meets a special brand of Choosing Beggar. I'm a photographer based in a tiny country in Europe, and while I've had my fair share of "can I have a discount? Why can't you photograph me for free? Want to do a collab?" I've had a client recently who went the extra mile on the crazy highway. I shoot intimate portraiture, which means people are usually wearing none to very little clothing. I get an inquiry about a client who wants to get a quote. I walk her through the process and let her know what's included in the shoot, which was a certain amount of photos, an album, and makeup service. She agrees to it, pays the retainer, and signs the contract where it specifies everything that is included in the shoot, how much she has to pay, and when. Also a disclaimer to read the contract carefully. Cue the weirdest questions I've ever been asked as a photographer. Can you buy me a swimsuit for the shoot? Sorry, no. I don't have a client closet yet, maybe in the future. Oh, okay. Well, I was interested in maybe getting a butt lift. Can you do that for me? What? No, I'm a photographer. I don't know the first thing about butt lifts. I can ask a friend of mine who provides that service, though. I'm sure she'd be happy to help you. I get my friend's number and send it to her. Thanks. While you're at it, can you get me a temporary tattoo for my lower back? Will your friend be with us in the studio so I can get my butt lift and tattoo? I sigh heavily, already dreading the day of the shoot. I do not provide that type of service. All you've paid me for is the photos, the album, and the makeup service. That's it. Everything else is not included. Also, if you're really serious about these procedures, you have to get them done in different sessions way ahead of time. They're at least minimally invasive, and your skin won't be ready for the shoot at all. Oh, okay, well, can you at least make my butt bigger in the photos? Now I'm sighing because she clearly didn't read my Photoshop ethics in the contract. I can do some changes, however, I can't do anything extreme because that's against my editing ethics as a photographer. I made a document in the most simple and straightforward way possible. At this point, I'm unsure whether the person was mocking me or dead serious, but just a little confused. The shoot is within the month, I just hope things don't get more ridiculous than this. I'll keep you guys updated on what happens next. This is John from /bash. Please hit that like button to help with the almighty YouTube algorithm, and make sure you have subscribed and have notifications on so that YouTube can let you know when my next video drops. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.